All right, guys, an interesting turn of events have happened. It seems like once a month, something happens with G4TV or its former associates, Adam Sessler or Frost, where it's a new issue that comes to light. Well, this one's not so much a new issue, but it is kind of funny considering how often Adam Sessler is one of the types that throws the pitchfork out and kind of, I guess, goes on these huge meltdowns on social media where he just attacks people, mostly gamers, and just kind of acts overall like a real insufferable piece of crap in regards to how he takes with how, I guess, today's gamers are. Well, now, and I'm going to use Kotaku, unfortunately, as a reference for this, but there is an old G4 review that is trending, that's been dug up in the archives, and it says it's forcing gaming to reckon with its racist JRPG past. So the irony in here is that our good old boy Adam Sessler is the one underneath the hot seat now. Yeah, for some reason this started trending. For example, right here, Tark's Gauntlet, shout out to them, posted the actual footage. So this was a old 2006 review of, I guess, Baten Kaitos Origins. Pardon me if I fucking pronounced that wrong. I know nothing about this series, but we're going to watch it. This is salvaged from the Internet Archive, so these people dug in deep. You always got to remember, dude, if you guys cause issues like Sessler does, where you have all these near weekly meltdowns attacking gamers, they're going to dig up old stuff on you and get you in a gotcha moment. So let's watch this review real quick. Hopefully, I don't get freaking copyright struck by it, but why not? Let's watch it. And you'll see there's going to be some racist stuff in here. I understand 2006 was a different time, but there's people that Adam Sessler caters to that aren't going to like this, and they're going to betray him. Watch, the mob's coming after him.
We all know who will replace us. India, that billion-strong faux vegetarian tech support call-taking behemoth of a nation. Or the Chinese. But certainly not Japan, because while they may be technologically advanced and financially powerful, they're already in decline. You want proof? Here's Baten Kaitos Origins.
I'll write the story. Let me guess. There's probably a young hero with some sort of memory problem who's fighting a vastly overwhelming Evo fascio magical empire. Cliche burden boy of action who will save us all is named Sagi. Rhymes with Saki. Saki! Which I could use a lot of right now.
I like Saki, by the way.
Saki! And apparently nothing says prequel like improved breast physics on the shopkeepers.
Sagi!
Sake!
Sagi!
Saki! Will you shut up about Sagi?
Sagi!
Saki! 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 Baten Kaitos Origin is an RPG for the GameCube. That about says it all.
And we all know who will replace
That's it.
India,
So the
that
review's already done.
billion-strong faux vegetarian
I guess the thing that set off people the most was the whole Saki meme with the way that people were yelling it, I guess using a Japanese stereotype. That wasn't much of a review, though. Like, does Adam Sessler even play video games, even back in 2006? I don't know. But if you take a look at this Twitter thread and we take a look at everything that goes on with it, this alone caused Adam Sessler to have a meltdown. And you can see Tarks puts over his own 70-minute review. And, people are just saying, hey, they have fond memories of X-Play, but you remember them being extremely harsh on games you lived up growing up on. Most of them are JRPGs. So for some reason, X-Play was against JRPGs. I have no clue. I really didn't follow G4TV at the time. But if you want to look at this, man, he's being brought out on the hot seat. So you can see Adam Sessler had some stuff to say. He said, wow, my replies are a stirring reminder of just how happy I am getting out of the circle jerk of sophomoric narcissism that is gaming these days. Wanting an apology out of my opinion. Wow, I got lots of shit to reckon with in my life, just not my take on a juvenile sub-genre. And Joey Ferris, who I've actually met before, said, have you considered that maybe people have a problem with the racism of that data review more so than your opinion of the game? And see, this is the funny thing, though, about Adam Sessler is he's the type to go pitchforks and attack people over an opinion. But when it's his turn to be questioned on his opinion, he's playing the victim complex, and that's honestly what a lot of these wokies act like. Only they are allowed to have an opinion. Only they are allowed to be racist. Only they are allowed to say fucked up shit and attack people and all that. But when it happens, the meltdowns happen, and they are fucking glorious. So yeah, he was just going nuts, and he made a fucking multiple thread post saying, final thought, no, the latest alt-right cause celeb progressive knee-jerk catharsis I find myself in. As I've said before, I'm not your monkey, and I'm not going to participate in these meaningless charades of public rebuke and contrition because I don't. I'm willing to be your racist today, just as how I've been your drug addict, your censor, your homophobe, time and again. It seems to serve a purpose, and I have no image I care to maintain that I'll let it run the same course as all the others. Man, I don't know what it is, but his tweets are hard to read. At the end of the day, my only true regret I'll admit to publicly is that I spent as much of my life as I did in the thrall of such an insipid culture and audience. I love the games and game design, but the rest is an orgy of desperation that I wasted decades on. So homeboy fucking went nuts, and I wanted to sit here and talk about this because it seems like something comes up. Adam Sessler, whether you like him or hate him, is a well-known figure, I guess, in the gaming industry, but he's no stranger to controversy. He's been called out time and time again for his behavior, especially on Twitter. He has a tendency to attack gamers and get into weekly meltdowns. I mean, not long ago, he had a battle of wits against RGT85 on Twitter that was totally embarrassing on his behalf. So I get it. It's understandable to get emotional about things that you're passionate about. But if your behavior is far from constructive towards the conversation or even remotely helpful, you're just being fucking snowflake, which is what Sessler usually is. I think it's actually quite toxic how he acts. It's social media could definitely amplify emotions and lead people to say things that they wouldn't say in person. And I do not think that Sessler would say half of what he says to gamers if they were face to face. I'm not trying to say start a fight or anything like that, but my God, some of the things he says is just so, he's been to blame for a lot of things with the downfall of the recent G4TV reboot, but we know G4TV is its own thing. It's its own media company that faced its own challenges. It was rebooted last year, and it shut down in less than a year, unfortunately. And, there were some things like the Frost rant that was pointed as one of the nails in the coffin, the whole cringeworthy segment where the female host themselves did a whole rant on sexism in gaming, and that's been pointed as a factor in G4's failure. But to be honest, on top of that, the content was just bad. This day and age, it wasn't that good of gaming content, especially when you can have better on YouTube. So the reboot failed to create anything compelling as far as content goes. It definitely didn't resonate with the audience, especially when you had two of the hosts attacking the audience constantly. So yeah, the downfall definitely contributed to that. But with Sessler, especially today and all of his involvement on Twitter with drama, it's no secret he's known for getting into it with people. even other people in the industry, he gets into it with them. It's almost like he likes to have controversy stirred up and get this attention just so he could trend somewhat. And I guess no publicity is bad. Any publicity is, not bad publicity. But I feel that Twitter is definitely a already as is toxic environment, and at times it feels like he's just going for the shock value. In fact, I think a few weeks back, as I'm trying not to burp, a few weeks back he admitted that a lot of what he would say was shock value just to get hate watchers to come and raise up the ratings of the viewership of his show. So I don't know. The one thing that it comes to with being a huge public figure, especially like the scale of what Sessler might have, is that you have to remember there has to be some kind of discourse there. Now, yeah, you're not gonna be kind to people that are flat out trolling you, but if there is some kind of like criticism that's constructive, again, trolling and constructive criticism are two different things. Just avoid contributing to the toxicity if all possible. Especially because Sessler has these negative views with the gaming community. If you see how he refers to gamers, he basically calls them basement dwellers, village idiots, things like that, which obviously is toxic just as much as what is being sent his way. It's a two-way street. I'll admit that. But this bias, he has a bias against gamers and the gaming industry after he's been part of it for so long. Like, it's almost like a bitterness that's just completely insufferable, and I think he needs to either completely get the fuck out or stop bitching, in my opinion, because it's not a good look. His past comments from this clip, this was a 2006 X-Play review that recently resurfaced, and you see it contains, I guess what you could say, racist stereotyping and comments, and I'm not so triggered about it. I'm not upset about it, because if you got to remember the people bitching about it, like Kotaku, those are cancel culture, woke, lefty type of people that find offense in everything. Me, I can understand that it was a product of its time. 2006 was fucking almost, like 15 years ago? I don't know the 8BE math on that, but it was over a decade ago. And times have changed for sure. Humor could get you in trouble. I don't think people should hold something that somebody said 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago against them. I didn't think that was that racist, if I'm being honest. I'm not defending Adam Sessler, but I do like that karma has come to collect on him, because he very well would be the type to participate in trying to dig up old controversial statements made by his enemies or by people that he disagrees with. So now that the shoe is on the other foot, it's good to see Adam Sessler get a little bit of pushback and a little bit of heat on him. So, yeah, just wanted to talk about this. I'll see you on the next one.